Assalamu alaikum, this is Abdul Wakil Nazari and I would like to welcome you to University of Business Learners. Today, the fifth lesson of Magic of Thinking Big. As I have stated that previous lectures, our achieving objective, our life consequences, it depends upon our thinking. How we think, how we perceive something. It depends on our thinking. If we change our thinking, we can change our life. Simple again. If you can change your thinking, you can change your life. So the first thing is that change your thinking. So the way you think, that should be changed. When you start changing your thinking, so the modification comes in your life automatically. So now, today, the lesson number 5 is how to think and dream creative. How to think and dream creative. Now, how to think and dream creative. Creative thinking. Creative means new way, uniqueness should be there. In your thinking, there should be uniqueness, creativeness, a new method should be. So don't be confused, or it's a sort of math that you can say that. Let me clear up something before we're going to start. So first, I would like to clear up. Most people they associate creative thinking with things, with discoveries, with different discoveries like polio vaccination, electricity, writing novels, or developing something color televisions. So these are, we can say that people they associate creative thinking. But these are not creative thinking. That is not a creative thinking. That is somehow that made it you guys confused. That people have made you confused. They made you associated with such things which is not a creative. So then the question is then what is a creative? Then what is the creative thinking? If those are not creative, then what is creative thinking? Creative thinking is simple we can say a low income family send their son to the university for getting higher education. That is a creative thinking. That is a creative thinking. A family, they turn their street with the flourishing with the flowers, and they behaving good with their neighbors. That is creative thinking. A minister of a country, eliminate has different authorities, like different authorities, and concerning associating his or herself with the people a lot, and concerning the people problem. That is creative thinking. Creative thinking, you can say that they have somehow creative thinking. When it comes out creative thinking in a practical life, we can figure out. So what does creative thinking means? Creative thinking is simple. We can see that when we make it something easy, when you make it simplify things, when you make it clear, that is creative thinking. Once we have make an objective in your life, that should be big enough. So you need to clear it first, what you want to achieve. That should be clear. When you clarify your objective of your life, that is creative thinking. Now, so creative thinking somehow simplify things. Creative thinking is simplify. If you're working in an organization, you are a line manager, you are dealing actively, supportively with your subordinates. That's a creative thinking. Creative thinking is somehow in organization, your employees are satisfied. When your employees are satisfied from your behavior, from the way of your dealing, that's creative thinking. Creative thinking somehow, I say that, simplify the work for others. Creative thinking, we can say that if you are richest person, Allah Rabbul Izzat give to you a lot of money and you are giving to the people with a charity, you are distributing your money, you are distributing some portion of your money on the needed people, on the poor people. So that is creative thinking. So creative thinking is that you help with someone, you help with people, with all those people who are needed. Dear the Lord, you help them. That's a creative thinking. Creative thinking is that when you make ways, finding ways and easy ways for others. That's a creative thinking. Getting things simply, finding ways, finding a new and improved ways of doing something. Finding ways and improved ways of doing something. That's a creative thinking. Finding ways to do something unique way and a better way. That's a creative thinking. So, what can you do? What can we do that develop our creative thinking? What? So the question is there, what we should do? Then we should build our creative thinking. The first one, the very first one, believe on yourself. Believe it. Believe it. If you believe it. If you believe on yourself, you can do it. The very first, do not find the ways of doing things. Start believing on yourself. When you start believing on yourself, the ways are, automatically opens. Once you have set your objective, so believe on yourself that you can do it. Believe on yourself that you can accomplish this objective, this goal. Now when you start believing, when you believe, your mind find ways. When you start believe, your mind find ways. Your mind find ways. That's because of there's a magic of believing. When you are not believing, your mind will stuck. It cannot be operate. Now, first thing, believe in yourself. The second, let your mind, your mind will create it if you leave it. Your mind will create it if you leave it. So you will not leave your mind. You will not leave your mind to think. You are not even thinking. Whenever a problem you face, you just stuck yourself in the problem because you are not finding out the solutions for it. You are not finding out a solution for it. You are going for a ready-made solution. Ready-made solution means the suggestion of others. Does it work? No, it will not work. Never ever for your problem the other people's suggestion work. No, it will not work. When you are engaged yourself in that problem and you analyze the solution for it, that will work. That will work. Because 90% when you receive other people suggestions and they will not aware of the problem, the consequences will come wrong. When you are involve your own self to that problem, analyzing the problem and thinking about the solutions, and you will get the ways. When you get the ways of all the right path in order to solve your problem when you're thinking. So when you're not thinking and just concerning to the others that they will sort out, so they will not. Whether suppose they give you some solutions, but what is the chances of that should be applicable in the same circumstances that you have faced? So stop, leave your mind whenever you face a problem. So analyze the problem, engage yourself with the problem, and come up with a solution. Now I will give you some useful tools to think creatively. Some useful tools to think creatively. The first one, believe it can be done. Believe it can be done. When you believe something, it can be done. Something can be done. So the ways when you believe in something, the ways will automatically open. The ways will automatically open because belief pays the solutions. Belief pays out the solutions. Start believing in yourself. One thing you should remove from your life. One word you should remove from your life. That is the word of impossible. The word of impossible. This word, you should remove it. Remove this word, because when you are analyzing that this is impossible, so in here your mind stuck. Your mind stuck, that will not operate. When you think this is possible and think about that, the ways will automatically open. So do not use negative phrases. Negative phrases can do. It's not possible. It's not useful. It's useless to try. So have you tried? No. So have you tried? No. So if you haven't tried, so how can you say that it's useless? If someone come up with a big idea and you're telling him that is useless, it's not workable, who are you that you're telling him that is not useful? It is his idea. So you have better to encourage him, give him a thumbs up, in order to you should increase his or her confidence that and appreciate his idea, because his mind sparkle through creative. When his mind is sparkle through creative and you are coming and giving him negative phrases, so his or her creative mind will block, will not work. So give him or her a thumbs up, a positive signal. The second one, don't let traditional polarize. Don't let traditional methodologies of solving solutions. What the traditional means? Whenever you are setting an objective in your life, as I said it, whenever you're setting an objective in your life, the people will tell you that it's not useful, this not. So don't polarize it. Polarize by others. Don't polarize your mind. Believe on yourself. Be receptive. Be receptive on new ideas. Try it. Be like experimental. You have think an idea, you come up with the idea. So be an experimental. Do not ever take an idea from others. Yeah, you should take ideas, but do what you want to do. Do what you think of it. Because in this world, nobody will give you a right idea until you should give yourself a right idea. Because you are the one who judge yourself. You are the one who analyze your skill. You are the one who understand your potential. You are the one who know how to handle the problem, how to handle this goal. You are the one who analyze that whether you can or not. So you are the one who judge yourself rather than people. You know, enthusiasm is something, encouragement is something that will not make you demoralize. Whenever you set a goal, be active and confidently go toward it, and believe yourself that you will succeed it. And act like an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur, whenever they see the opportunity, they go through it and grab the opportunity, and they think 90% they think that we will succeed it. Only 10% there will be doubt. But when it comes to the percentage, 90%, they think toward 90% and they ignore the 10%. So remove the traditional methodologies, go for experimental and new and receptive and new techniques for experimenting. When you experiment, you will learn something. Traditionally, you will not learn, you will be stuck in your mind because there is no learning. Only traditional, you are just the copy paste, and that will not work. The third one, ask yourself one question. Once you have set an object in your life, ask yourself, how can I do better? How can I do better? This question is that they open your mind. You think, how can I do better? Because there is no limitation in your self-improvement. There is no limitation in self-improvement. But only limit is your life depth. But when you are finished, that's the limitation of that. Limitation of improvement. But actually there is no limitation of your self-improvement. So ask one question from yourself every day. And while you are setting your objective, how can I do better? How can I do better? Now think about that. How can I do better? When you ask yourself, how can I do better? So it consider a sound answer here. Suddenly answer appears in your mind. So when you think about your job, that how can I do better? So thinking about how can I do better? How can I improve my organization? How can I improve my advertising campaign? How can I improve my, everything what you want, your writing, your skills, your speaking, whatever is you said. So answers automatically comes in your mind because you ask in your mind that how can I do? Your mind, your subconscious mind will tell you that explore your searching questions and like a Google and searching and finding the answers. So when finding the answer, make a list of all the answers. Make a list of all the answers that you have appear in your mind, because the first and very important thing is that whenever you think, because the thinking thinking is a big ability. When you think about something, you find ideas, directly write it down, because maybe you will never know that when it will disappear, because idea will come in a short, but it will appear like this. But it is your duty to write it down quickly and make it, because when you write down, once that is it come in mentally, now when you write down, it comes in a solid form. It comes into a solid form. You will analyze it. So once you just try. If you are a worker, you're an employee, or you are a businessman, or you are a manager, or you are whatever you are. So just think about that. How can make yourself better? So how? Ask the question how. How can I make myself better? So the question will appear. If your behavior is not good, how can ask the question? How can I make myself better? Now, then the fifth one, ask. The fourth one, ask one more question. Ask yourself, how can I do more? How can I do more? More capacity, because your human mind having capacity mind, and asking yourself your mind, because how can you do more? If your organization working, you ask question, how can I do more? Do what you better do. Do what you better to do. Simple. Do what you better to do. The fifth one, one thing you should make yourself, ask and listen. Make yourself like a ask and listen. Put in a habit in yourself. Ask and listen. You will get a lot of ideas. Ask question and keep listening. Ask question and keep listening. Make a habit of, if you want to be creative, ask question and keep listening. And the last one, make yourself associate yourself with all those people who help you to get your objective or your life goal. Thank you very much for your watching.